JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, accused were surprised at charge for Daniel Rowe's killing, says attorney. The woman charged with killing 8-year-old Daniel Rowe is very surprised about the accusations leveled against her, according to her attorney, Donovan Collins. Coyote Satchel, a 30-year-old dental assistant, is facing a charge of murder for Daniel's gruesome slaying that triggered public outrage. The 8-year-old, who is the daughter of a policeman, was abducted as she left Brayton Primary School in Portmore, St. Catherine on June 8. She was found with her throat slashed along Roosevelt Avenue in St. Andrew later that day. Daniel died at the Bustamante Hospital for Children 2 days later. Collins said his client maintains her innocence. Miss Satchel is very stressed at the moment, and she's also very surprised that someone would want to accuse her of this act, he said during an interview yesterday. She looks forward to having her day in court so her name can be cleared. Collins said he's awaiting full disclosure from prosecutors to begin preparing his client's defense. Satchel was ordered to give her fingerprints to police investigators when she made her first court appearance yesterday. The order was made by a judge at the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court. Satchel is scheduled to return to court on October 4, when Collins is expected to make an application for her release on bail. Policemen killed in 2-vehicle Trelawny crash. A 19-year-old police constable died in Trelawny on Wednesday night as a result of injuries he sustained in a motor vehicle collision along the Hague Main Road. A.S. Christopher Ricketts was assigned to the St. James Division. Reports from the Falmouth police are that about 11:50 p.m., Ricketts was driving a Mazda Demio motor car with a colleague on board when he collided with a Toyota Fielder. From information received, the Toyota Fielder motor car was traveling from the direction of Montego Bay towards St. Ann, whilst the Mazda Demio motor car was traveling in the opposite direction. On reaching a section of the North Coast Highway, the driver of the Mazda Demio reportedly overtook a line of vehicles and collided with the Fielder. Ricketts was reportedly thrown from the car and received multiple injuries. The police were summoned and Ricketts, his colleague, and the 2 occupants of the Toyota Fielder were taken to hospital. Ricketts was pronounced dead and his colleague was admitted in serious but stable condition. The occupants of the Toyota Fielder were treated and released. The police high command says it is saddened by the death of the police constable. The Forces Chaplaincy Branch and Welfare Department are providing support to the family members, friends and colleagues of Constable Ricketts. 1 dead, 2 injured in Kingston car crash. A man is dead and 2 others injured following a motor vehicle collision on the Sir Florizel Glasspool Main Road in Kingston on Tuesday. The deceased has been identified as Devon Edwards of Port Royal in the parish. Reports from the Harbourview Police are that about 11 p.m. Edwards was a passenger in a Mazda Demio motor car that was heading towards St. Thomas when the driver allegedly lost control of the motor vehicle while navigating wet road conditions and the car overturned. Edwards was thrown from the motor vehicle and sustained several injuries. Edwards, another passenger, and the driver of the motor car were taken to the hospital where Edwards died while undergoing treatment. The other persons were admitted for treatment. Investigation continues. Former PNP councillors Ian Miles and Garfield James joined JLP. 2 former People's National Party councillors in Westmoreland today crossed the floor to join the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, JLP. Councillors Ian Miles and Garfield James this morning announced that they will no longer sit as independent members in the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation, but as members of the JLP. Be it resolved that at this morning's sitting of the council, I, Ian Miles, is joining the Jamaica Labour Party as councillor for the Little London Division, Miles said. That decision has now increased the JLP's poll to 6 to the PNP's 5. In July, Miles, James of the Sheffield Division, and Late Mackenzie of the Grangel Division, who were elected on PNP tickets, resigned from the party, declaring themselves as independent.
Man gone home. Any more going home?
Yes, ma'am. Alright, better things. Ms. Russia, having made that move to independence, we thought that we would have been doing weekly assessment as to the way forward It's something that we have given careful consideration to. It's something that we have discussed with the leadership of the division. It's something that they supported. And as such, be it resolved that this morning, sitting at council, I, here Miles, now join the Jamaica Labour Party as a councillor for the division of Trelawny.
Gun and ammo seized in Runaway Bay, St. Anne. A gun and a magazine containing 7 rounds of ammunition were seized by the St. Anne police on the Runaway Bay main road in the parish on Tuesday. Reports are that about 10:30 p.m., a police team was on patrol in the area when they observed a Toyota Camry motor car driving recklessly along the main road. The police signaled the driver of the motor car to stop, however, the driver sped off. The motor vehicle was later found abandoned on the roadway as it had crashed into a fence. The motor vehicle was searched and one 9mm Taurus pistol and ammunition were found. Investigations are ongoing. Sandals VP hospitalized after being stabbed in home invasion. A vice president of Sandals Group has been hospitalized in serious condition after he was attacked and stabbed several times by an intruder at his apartment in Freeport, Montego Bay, St. James on Monday evening. Superintendent Aaron Samuels, head of the St. James Police, confirmed that investigators are probing the attack on 73-year-old Donald Smith, who is head of transportation at the Sandals Group. Reports are that sometime after 8 o'clock, Smith arrived home from work when he was attacked by a man who reportedly broke into his apartment. The suspect used a knife to stab him several times to his upper body. The wounded man alerted a relative who called the police and an ambulance. He was transported to hospital for treatment. Detectives from the Montego Bay Criminal Investigations Branch are reviewing CCTV footage as part of the investigation into the matter. Holness says Jamaica is not being overtaken by Chinese interest. Prime Minister Andrew Holness Thursday morning sought to dispel rumors that Jamaica is being overrun with Chinese interest, asserted that its debt to China is only a fraction of the total sum owed globally. Holness, who was speaking at the opening of the Maple to Williamsville leg of the Southern Coastal Highway, argued that there are people insistent on creating a false impression.
It is a pity that I have to go into these details to explain these things. It's a real pity. The project was funded by a loan from the government of China. And as I've said, the contractor is a Chinese company, China Harbour Engineering. I want to take this opportunity to dispel a quite unfortunate perception that is carried by some with interest, that somehow Jamaica is being overrun by Chinese interests. It may shock you to know that even with this loan from China, Jamaica's debt to China is approximately 4.5% of our total debt. Yes, what we owe to China is minuscule relative to what we owe to the rest of the world and international agencies. So unlike those who would want to create a false impression about Jamaica and our international development relationship with China, it is false. Jamaica has taken a strategic approach to develop its infrastructure, and we partner with those who want to help us, and we are willing to partner with all countries in the world that come genuinely to assist our development. And we are ensuring that when we partner with these countries, Jamaica gets the benefit. There is no Jamaican who can say that this road is not beneficial to them. Again, a pity that I have to address these falsehoods that people are vested in creating. But the only way to deal with falsehood is to tell the truth about them. Shed light on them.
Holness also announced that motorists using this leg of the toll will be able to do so without paying a fee until December 31, 2023.
The government has taken the decision to start tolling on December 31st, 2023. Users will be able to drive on the Maypen to Williamsfield leg of the highway without charge until the end of this calendar year.
Cashless system at Municipal Market in Falmouth still on the agenda, says Mayor. Mayor of Falmouth, Colin Gager, says plans are still on the agenda to introduce a cashless system at the Municipal Market in Falmouth. In May 2019, a racket was discovered where workers were pocketing vending fees. At that time, Granger transferred staff and announced plans to introduce a cashless system. This was not materialized. However, the mayor, in an interview today, said that the move to introduce the system remains active. With the strict enforcement of no vending in Water Square and on the sidewalks in the town, we have to look towards a cashless system. You see, there's an increase in vendors who now use the market for selling all their foodstuff, said Gager. The mayor further disclosed that the director of finance at the municipality has been in high-level meetings with a major financial organization on the cashless system. The meetings have been progressing smoothly and we expect to have the system in place shortly, Gager said. Health Ministry worried about possible dengue outbreak as cases rise. The Ministry of Health is concerned about the possibility of a dengue outbreak given the increase in suspected cases. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton disclosed Wednesday morning that data from the ministry's surveillance unit revealed that, as at Monday, September 11, there were 316 suspected, presumed, and confirmed cases of mosquito-borne diseases. For us, it represents a concern, clearly not a panic, but a concern, because it is almost 5 times or a 5-fold increase when compared to the corresponding period in 2022, where 65 cases were reported, Dr. Tufton pointed out. Data identified from lab tests as at Monday have also revealed 2 different types of dengue, with 38 cases confirmed as dengue serotype 2 and 1 identified as dengue serotype 4. According to Dr. Tufton, all parishes have had cases of dengue reported. Confirmed cases were detected in Kingston and the St. Andrew, St. Thomas, St. Catherine, Westmoreland, Portland and the St. Anne. When you look from the population perspective, the parishes in Southeast, St. Thomas, Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine have the highest dengue activities at this particular time, he reported. The minister outlined that the younger population is at a higher risk of contracting dengue fever. Of the 39 confirmed cases of dengue, 20 patients belong in the 5 to 14 age group. And so, part of the call from the Minister of Health and Wellness is to encourage parents to treat children who have had a fever with paracetamol and to avoid aspirin and aspirin-like medications such as ibuprofen, he advised. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.